This is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and I'm still here at the Eco Farm having a great time. We just got out of a talk actually on permaculture, and I learned something that, I don't know, on one level terrified me, and on one level infuriated me, that seed saving is illegal in the United States. I mean, I know there's many of you guys might be conspiracy theory people and all this stuff, and you know, I want to go directly to the source. We have Neil Thapar here, and he's a lawyer, and he's working on this case so that people can share their seeds freely. So, Neil, is it true that seed sharing in the United States is illegal?
Maybe, it depends.
All right, well, that's a lawyer answer for you. You want a straight answer, they tell you maybe. So first off, let's define what is seed sharing according to law.
Sure, well, seed sharing actually doesn't specifically have a definition in law, but seed libraries are places where people will go to get free seeds, and they can grow their own food, and at the end of the season donate seeds back to the library. It's an opportunity for people to have more food security, to have access to healthy food, and it offers us a way to sort of keep a tradition going that we've been doing for thousands of years. And in some places, seed libraries have been approached by departments of agriculture recently, specifically in Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Maryland, and have been told that they're violating the state seed law.
What? Like, it's a seed library. Like, what if they shut down all the libraries and we couldn't read Catcher in the Rye? I think, did they do that once? But so this outrages me. So like why are they doing this?
Yeah, it's confusing. But the state seed law says that if you sell or distribute seeds, you have to comply with some labeling requirements, germination testing requirements, and all of this costs a lot of money, and seed libraries generally operate out of public libraries, and so they don't have a lot of money. In fact, they're nonprofits for the most part. And so seed libraries in these states are being required to comply with these laws, which is having the effect of basically shutting them down because they can't pay for these tests. And we don't think that they really need to, so we think this law is actually unnecessary. But that's what's happening, and so seed libraries are kind of at risk right now.
So where does this all end? Like, what if I wanted to take and share my seeds with other people or even sell them? Would I have to get germination tests, and I could no longer just give you some seeds without being in violation of these laws if they want to define laws to like the individual person instead of a seed library? Could this happen, and is this true?
Yeah, right now that's what's happening in a few states for people who are using seed libraries. But we're working to change that. And so we're advocating, we're working with a couple of organizations here and nationally to save seed sharing and to change laws. And so one way that we're doing that is by having an online petition at saveseedsharing.org. So if you can have people please sign the petition so we can build support for seed libraries so that when you give me seeds, we're not actually breaking the law anywhere.
Yeah, I want to encourage you guys right now to open up a new window. I'll put a link down below. I'll put a link right below the video to go to this website to sign it right now. Also at the same time to let me know that you signed it. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you believe that people should be able to, in seed libraries that are free of charge, working out of libraries and just basically giving people seeds, should be able to do this without government intervention. You know, it's my belief that we need to be able to control the food system, and as our forefathers that came to this country, they would grow things, they would share the seeds, give it to others, people would exchange seeds for hundreds of years. We're now not able to do that. Now, why do you think this is happening?
Yeah, that's a good question. So far, it's only been the state departments of agriculture who have visited the seed libraries. I can't say necessarily that I've heard that anybody else is behind it, but I have my suspicions that there are other forces at play.
Well, sure, he's a lawyer, he can't say anything. I can say anything I want. This is America, hopefully, and I still have freedom of speech, I think. It's quite possible that big companies like, it starts with an M, and all these other big agri companies that want to control the seed supply, have made one call to their buddies to, have people start hassling people that are wanting to do real things like share seeds. You know, the one way besides signing the petition that you guys could be an activist against this is start saving your own seeds and sharing them with everybody. And if you haven't already, start a seed sharing library. So how can somebody get more information about, you know, the project that you're doing and the seed and how to start a seed sharing library?
Yeah, so the petition is at the same website, but if you want to start a seed library, go to seedlibraries.net. And that website is curated by Richmond Grows Seed Lending Library, which is sort of a replicable model of seed libraries that's been an inspiration to a lot of people. And there's resources there for how to start a seed library.
Yeah, I want to encourage everybody out there to, if you don't have a seed lending library in your area, start one. Even if you're a small home gardener, you have, you know, 5 plants and you have seeds, you can start a library. You could also, once you start a library, you could actually request seeds from, you know, big seed companies. A lot of time, maybe at the end of the year, they'll have extra seeds. They'll just donate to your seed library, because what are they going to do? Throw out the seeds and have them go to waste? I mean, let's talk about that. Like in the law, right? Isn't there some part of the law where you're supposed to throw away the seeds?
Yeah, so right now, the way the law is being interpreted in those states, the only way that seed libraries are allowed to operate is if they buy in commercial seed, and they're not allowed to take seed from one year and carry it into the next year, which means that they would have to throw away their seed and have new seed each year. And that kind of defeats the purpose of what a seed library is. It's a place to preserve genetics and to locally adapt seeds, and you do that by sharing and saving seeds across seasons.
Awesome. Yeah. So number one thing you could do to rebel against this is start saving seeds, start a seed library, share your seeds with others, and get people excited about growing their own food. Because, you know, if people continue to just keep buying food at the grocery store, right, we're going to be sucked into this mass consumption society. And I want you guys to be producers and grow some of your own food instead of consumers. So any last words that you have today to share with my visitors about this topic, or anything else they should know, you know, regarding this issue?
Yeah, I think exactly what John said. Start growing seeds and start sharing seeds. And if you want to start a seed library, and if there isn't one, then get active and talk to your city councilors and tell them that you want to be a more resilient city, and that seed libraries are something that cities should support and states should support.
Absolutely. I mean, I worked at a library when I was going through college, and I think I would have rather worked at actually a seed library. It would have been much more fun. But the seed libraries, actually, they could run without even anybody working at them. They just have them there, and they have envelopes, and you could check things out. And hopefully once you check something out, then you come back, you know, at the end of the season, you make a deposit back in, so that the community could have its own local source of resilient seeds and wide genetic diversity of seeds. So once again, what was that website so that people can find that and sign that petition?
It's www.saveseedsharing.org.
And how can somebody find out about you, more about you and the organization that you work with?
Yeah, so I work at the Sustainable Economies Law Center. Our website is www.theselc.org, THESELC.org.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, John.
And yeah, I hope you guys get infuriated by this, but more important than get infuriated, number one, sign that petition, give me a thumbs up. Number two, start saving your own seeds, spreading them out to others. And number three, start your own seed libraries in your own communities to get these seeds out to more people, and to flip off the powers that be that, you know, are not letting people do this legally by law. So now we're with Rebecca from Richmond Grows Seed Lending Library, and we're going to talk about something very important to you guys here at EcoFarm. I mean, I'm running into all different kinds of really cool people that are doing their own individual really cool work, and I wish I could interview them all, but I'm just bringing a few of them to you guys. And so what I want to share with you guys today is how you can start your own seed lending library. So Rebecca, what is a seed lending library for my viewers out there that may not know what it is?
So a seed lending library is a public place. It could be a community center, it could be a library, which is where ours is located, and people from the community can just come down and borrow seeds for free, and then we provide free education. They take seeds out, they take them and put them in their own home gardens, learn about seed saving, and then return some of those seeds for other people to borrow.
That's an excellent idea. It sounds like literally like a library, because at a library you get the book, you could read it, then you return the book.
Yep.
But I think it's even better, because now you actually, once you get the seeds, you get to grow them, and then you bring back extra additional seeds.
It's like adding an extra chapter to a book.
That's, oh my gosh, it's like one of those books when I was a kid. It's like, if you think this topic, then if you think the book wants to go this way, then flip to this page or this page, and then I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
It is that way. Well, whenever you save seeds, you're actually becoming a plant breeder and making those seeds more locally adapted. So when we're saving seeds locally, they're going to be more adapted to our soils, to our climate, which is going to be increasingly more important in a time of like erratic climate and climate change.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really happening right now from what I hear. So seed lending libraries are definitely a solution, because people always complain to me, John, where can I get some free seeds? I mean, seeds are so expensive, some of those heirloom varieties. I mean, seed packets are a couple bucks a packet, but if you buy the seeds once, you grow them out, open pollinated seeds, you could have your own source of seeds. But I want to be able to make gardening available to everybody, no matter, if they have resources to order the seeds or not, but just also to be more resilient. So Rebecca, how can somebody start a seed lending library, no matter where in the country or in the world for that matter?
Well, it's we have all the resources that you need at seedlibraries.net, so you can go on and it's really easy. You can basically, you get your people together, you get where your site's going to be located, you get seeds. We started with commercially donated seeds from companies that we had alignment with, and we also got seeds donated from like the local horticulture department, and then just partnered with the public library. And right now, because so many communities have done that, at seedlibraries.net you can go there and you can download all of the resources, all of the educational material. We have a great organizational structure that really helps people, going like super easy. So we have our drawers labeled super easy, and these are the seeds we want everybody to start with. These are your beans, your peas, your tomatoes. So like every home gardener should be saving those seeds, and we can really develop a lot of resilience and locally adapted varieties really quickly in our own communities by starting to save those varieties.
So Rebecca, how many seed lending libraries are there in the nation at present time, and how can somebody find one to find out if they already have one in their area so that you guys don't have to start one?
Great question. So we have about 350 in the United States in about 46 states. And those are the ones that are currently open. There's a whole bunch more that are in process. And if you go to seedlibraries.net under our Create a Library page, we have a sister libraries page for all the ones that are open. So you can actually go there, and it's all organized by state, and you can see, are there other ones? And it's great because if you're interested in starting one, you can see if there's people around you, if there's people in a similar bioregion. So maybe you can even get some locally grown seed that another library has in excess.
Yeah, it's awesome. So say you live somewhere and there's a seed, lending library 3 hours away. You could go there, get some seeds, find out how they did it, come back to your area, and then start your own library. So what states actually do not have seed lending libraries? There, you said there's like...
Yeah, there's about 46. I'd have to look at the list again.
Like
I think
4.
Utah was one of the ones that didn't have one. Washington, D.C., which isn't a state, but I included that in the list. Maryland, which is my home state, they preemptively had, there's some concerns with the State Department of Agriculture that they kind of said that there were some issues around seeds shouldn't be shared through a library, and so that preemptively stopped a bunch of seed libraries from opening. There were about 20 public libraries that were in the process, and that's put a little chill on that. So
that's not acceptable to me.
It's not acceptable to the people in the communities either. So we're working to educate the State Departments of Agriculture about the value of local seed.
So could it be defined as illegal in some places?
The interpretation is up to question, and we definitely don't feel like it's illegal, but the laws were really written for commercial seed production, and we're not commercial, so the scale is very different. And I think that the laws are really important and valuable to protect farmers and protect, if you're growing out 5 acres of a particular broccoli for market, you want that to be what it is and have a high germination rate. That's very different when you're going to a public library and sharing seeds with your neighbor, which is something we've done for 12,000 years. And to have that, that's a very different thing. It's around food security, it's around creating local resilience, it's around reskilling our community to grow locally adapted seed that's going to really, save that genetic diversity that has been so important in terms of just the development of culture and community. And so we're really hoping to kind of preserve that and encourage that through the seed libraries. And
why is it important to save and share local seeds versus seeds you get from like a seed company in Montana? Are there seed companies in Montana?
There are actually, and we've actually gotten some really great original seed. I have my seed teachers up. My original seed teachers up in that area in Idaho, and so being able to grow seeds locally, they're going to become adapted to our soils. They're going to become adapted to our climate, and then we have the issues around food security. It's like, what better way to have that food security if you're growing it yourself? And not only that, because you can become really a producer, where it's like you grow the seed and you let some of it go to seed, and now you've got you're giving seeds away. You've got enough lettuce seed for your whole block and neighborhood. So it's really this creating a culture of abundance and a culture of sharing. I have this wonderful seed that I got from my neighbor on my block, growing the same bean for 25 years. That's been in his family for like multiple decades. Great Aunt Rosie's Italian pole bean, and it's like he might be the only person that grew that seed out before me. So like now there's two of us that have that seed, and I was like, it's got cultural significance. It's adapted to our funky climates in in Richmond, California, and so it's really we've lost our connection to our food, and by saving those seeds and by sharing those stories, it's really about reconnecting to the story. So like when you go to the farmers market, don't just get beans. Like, ask them what variety they are. When you go and you plant your own things out, it's not just a bean. You want to know the story, you want to know the history, and if you can find things that are grown locally that have connection to your culture, that's really where it's all about. So
last question for you today, Rebecca. So is that bean seed available at your local seed lending library? And once again, what was the website of the seed lending library so that people could start their own seed lending library? So yeah, great Aunt Rosie's is going to be made available this summer for the first time in our community. And we definitely want to get it out to people's hands that really are going to protect it and make sure that they grow those and return those, because we want to build a stocking up that becomes part of our cultural heritage on a big scale. And once again, if people want to start their own seed library, it's seedlibraries.net. And so we have create a library, all the resources, and find your own sister seed library. And then also the activism piece around the seed, the Save Seed Sharing campaign. So I'm going to encourage you guys to check out that website and start a seed library near you if you don't already have one. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, got infuriated, and are more importantly going to take some action. Once again, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep on growing. All right, this is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and caught me on vacation on the beach here in California, here in Monterey, California. Actually, I'm not on vacation. I'm on a trip to cover the 35th annual Eco Farm event. So this is basically the conference